Hey guys, Luna here with a review, and today, finally, we're going to be talking about Music of the Spheres. It was released last night. I've already listened to the albums a couple times, and I feel like I'm ready to give my thoughts on the album and a formal review of the album as well. The album was met with a lot of criticism already, especially from fans saying that the album is just too much pop music, they want all Coldplay back. Really, if I hear another comment saying, shut the fuck up, alright? It's gone. It's been gone for 13 years. Don't ask for it no more, okay? Ever since Viva La Vida, Coldplay did an amazing left turn and changed to pop music to a more mainstream audience. And to me, that's perfectly fine. I don't really have a problem with it. Usually they do it pretty well. Viva La Vida is one of the greatest albums that they have released, if not the best. Milo Siloto is a really amazing record too, so what is the problem with Coldplay doing more pop music than rock music? I don't find a single issue with that. I guess that what I'm trying to say is that I don't really agree with I want this old Coldplay back again, I want another Parachutes, I want another Rush of Blood to the Head, because I personally don't want it. I actually like that Coldplay is going for this style. The problem is not that they're doing pop music, the problem is that usually they do not know how to do it, or they don't know how to do a full album filled with pop songs in them. You know, it usually comes out as boring, just like it did in A Head Full of Dreams and Ghost Stories, which are albums that are enjoyable, but overall they're not as good as what they did before. But it's obvious that Coldplay does know how to do a pop album that sounds good and entertaining, because we have two wonderful albums to prove that. One of them is Everyday Life, the other one is Milo Siloto, and even we have the third one that it's still rocky. There's still a lot of rock on that album, but still pop music. It's pop rock music, Viva La Vida. So we have three albums to prove that Coldplay can do pop music and come out good. And I'm saying this because people is used to just, oh, it's pop music, it's Coldplay doing pop music, it's automatically bad. No, that's not the case. They can do really good pop music if they want to. With this album, I was the first one to express my concerns. I said that I didn't really thought that BTS collaboration was a good idea, and I was even more concerned when I realized that they were going to do a collaboration with Selena Gomez. Still, I had hopes that Coldplay would come out good out of all of these expectations of the album being a piece of shit, and they did. The album is actually pretty good. The first thing to say about this album is that there's not a single song on this album that can be called bad. I don't think there's a bad song on this record. It's nothing groundbreaking, it's nothing complex, but that is exactly the reason why I listen to Coldplay. You see, when I put a Coldplay album, I'm not really waiting for that groundbreaking, deep lyricism, multi-layered production that you hear on other artists like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Joy Division, the Talking Heads. I don't. I'm just looking for a nice tune. That's all. I'm not looking for anything else. And I believe that I talk for most of the Coldplay fans that we're not waiting for anything else. We're just looking for nice, wholesome tunes that we can just dance to and feel good to. And this album is exactly that. You can grab a part of the album and say, I'm gonna grab this song and I'm gonna grab this song and say, are these good tracks? And you may say, well, they're just nice songs. But when you put it all in the album, it works better because each track supports each other and creates a nice, listenable experience. It's something like the same thing they did with Parachutes, for example. In the review I did of Parachutes, I mentioned it isn't anything special, but the whole of it sounds really good. It's just something that you play in the background while you're cooking, while you're in the car, while you're, I don't know, playing a video game. It's something that you can play because you know that there's not a single point that needs your attention. It's just effortless music. And instead of being negative, it's the point. It's what makes it good. It's easy to listen. This may be the actual reason why I don't really disagree with any of the criticism that Coldplay has received for the past 10 years, because it's something that they actually deserve. Coldplay has done more of the same, but in a different color, in a different genre, and have gotten away with it. But actually, now I understand why. Is that they're not trying. They just want to make good music so they can play at the concerts and they can perform for the fans and the fans can enjoy. And I am one of those because I enjoy them. I can grab songs from this album and say, this is kind of boring if you listen to it and pay attention to what you're listening. I mean, if you grab a Coldplay song from this album, right? You put your headphones on and pay attention to the track alone, you're probably gonna find that you're a little bit bored. But if you just play it in the background while you're doing something else, driving, cooking. The album hits the right spots. It's good, it's beautiful, it's wholesome. Turn off the lights, put a speaker on your room and just lay down and listen to this album. You'll find that it's actually really enjoyable. It's not music for you to make you think, to make you feel like you are experiencing one of the greatest albums of all time. That's not the target of the album. The album just tries to make you feel good, tries to make you feel, I don't know, nostalgic in a way. So I agree and I accept it for what it is. Now, talking about the tracks in the album, we have Higher Power, if you have been waiting for this album, you definitely heard. It's a synth pop song trying to pull out some 80s vibe, doesn't really achieving it. At the end of the day, it's just a synth pop song. Really good, I really enjoyed it. I like the song, what can I say? Then you have Humankind, one of the best tracks on the album, if not the best. This song is amazing, it's really great. The production is amazing, the drums, the percussion is really good. I love it, I love it, I love it. Then it is the track Beautiful, which is getting a lot of hate on the internet. I don't really understand why. I think that this song is actually really good. I mean, I understand that listening to Chris Martin singing in this lo-fi, high-pitched voice is a bit awkward, but before the track hits 1 minute, he comes in and sings in a normal voice, and the tune is so nice and the instrumental is so relaxing that you just can't help but like the song. I don't really know why this song isn't more popular than what it is. Then you have People of Pride, an amazing song. I thought I'd never heard Coldplay go back to the rock roots and do something like this. Actually, they have never done anything like this, not even when the main focus in their music was rock. It's an amazing song. It reminded me of Politics in a way. The instrumental is going really loud and really hard, and all of a sudden everything goes quiet and Chris Martin starts to sing, and then the instrumental goes crazy as soon as he stops singing. So that's the same thing that he did on Politics back in 2002. I love the song. I really like it. I think it's a good song, one of the best songs in the album as well. Then after that is My Universe. I've already given my opinions on that track. I like the song. I think it sounds better on this album than it sounds on its own, that this is true, but I still disagree with a few decisions they did with the production of that song. Then it jumps into an amazing interlude. This interlude is wonderful, the infinite sign interlude that I don't understand why Coldplay decided to go with emojis instead of actual titles for the song. It's a bit annoying when you're talking about it, but still, that song is amazing. I really like that song. It's an interlude, but still, it doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the track itself. It reminds me of Chinese sleep chant back in Viva La Vida. Is the second part of the song, yes. I like it, I like it, I like it. Then it goes out to Coloratura, and that's the end of the album. Every single song on this album is enjoyable, every single song on this album is decent, every single song on this album is acceptable, and actually some of them are Coldplay best material. I do have my complaints about this album. The lyrics. I know. You don't listen to Coldplay because of the lyrics. But when I say this, I mean that if Chris Martin says the same corny bar about love and the stars and the birds over and over again, it's fine. You don't give a shit. The problem is when Chris Martin tries to go philosophical and deep and intelligent and the universe and why are we here. Not only Chris Martin does this, but Selena Gomez too. In the track Let Somebody Go, Selena Gomez brings mathematicians to talk about love, that love is only equal to the pain, something that you would just listen from a subreddit, I'm 14 and this is deep. That's when you find this kind of lyricism. I think that Selena Gomez, if she was the one that wrote this, she found this lyric in this subreddit. Definitely. It's horrible. I don't like it. Why would you do this? What was the point of this? The obvious point of the track is for you to just chill out and enjoy the melody. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying, and I think no one does. Anyway, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but still, it's something that I wanted to point out because I didn't like that detail, the fact that Selena Gomez and Chris Martin sound so different from one another. No. I think the last thing that I want to say about this album is how unnecessary the interludes are. They don't connect one track with each other, they're just there without any sort of explanation why. I don't know, I think that you could have just added the 20 seconds of the interlude at the beginning of the track and that's it. We can keep going with our lives, but you didn't, you just wanted to add more tracks in them. I think the album is a bit too short. I believe that Coldplay could have placed a few more tracks in there, I don't know. But overall, that's all I have to say about this album. So, final conclusions, here we go. This album was definitely a step in the right direction for Coldplay. I enjoyed this album. I think that there are really good tracks in this album. I don't think this is the best thing that Coldplay has ever released. I don't think it's ever close to it, but I think that they're not trying to do that anymore. I think that they're just trying to make good music for people to listen to, for they can play in their concerts. So yeah, I accept it for what it is, but it isn't that great of an album for me to give it an amazing score. So this album for me gets a 7. Well guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed. Finally, we were able to listen to this album, to digest it, to take it into our bodies. I'm really excited to see what Coldplay is going to do next. I know that they will do a world tour. They announced it. Maybe this will mean that we will not have an album in quite a long time, but I don't really care. I'm pretty satisfied with this one, so yeah. If you want me to review any other albums, just make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll check it out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss on any review that I upload. And I think that's it for today. Goodbye.